across all history. They carefully erase all traces of their existence, but sometimes, even the most perfect, this tome was one of those loose.
Zasalamel created me. A banal way to begin a tome. I began writing this, now, about the cursed sword. However, I must exercise caution. A fitting end awaits all. Should anyone who has held that sword. The origin of Soul Edge. Legend says it was once, but after fighting on countless battlefields, all who took Soul Edge in their hands became slaves. That is why so few know of it. Until, that is. And it was known as the... In that ancient age, great change came only through war. The Hero King. Being the man he was, I won't record the Hero King's name here. Someday I may decide the time is right. It is said the Hero King lost Soul Edge due to his jealous son. After the Hero King killed his son, indeed, the Cursed Sword and the Spirit Sword. While the name Soul Edge is known to a select, there is a reason the Spirit Sword. Some say the Hero King created the Spirit Sword. Those who would carry on the dead king's wish. They were known as the Guardians of the Spirit Sword. Like a thief in the night, they took the Spirit Sword and withdrew into the dark recesses of history. They told others of the Hero King's Spirit Sword, and that they were going into hiding to... The Guardians of the Spirit Sword only entrust SOULCALIBUR to a select few. One recent example was a king from medieval Europe, born in Britain. The king used the Spirit Sword to rule a large swath of Europe. I'm skeptical as to whether the king ever truly existed. It was somehow connected with the Guardians of the Spirit Sword. Also, it would be reasonable to assume after the king's death, though, no one. Perhaps we should assume it eventually found its way back to the Guardians of the Spirit Sword. At the same time, there were those who awaited the second coming. On the eve of the king's passing, a loyal knight set forth to find the Spirit Sword and restore the crown. They hid themselves well for a considerably long period of time. Sworn to the late king, the Aval organization sought the Spirit Sword and secretly assassinated. A deeper look, however, reveals there was some unrest hidden below the organization. After slumbering in the shadows of history, Soul Edge was awakened by the pirate Cervantes. Cervantes attacked the ship of one who had won Soul Edge at it. Soul Edge changes its form depending on its wielder. When Cervantes took up the cursed sword, and after nearly 30 years of slumber, Cervantes and the cursed sword were defeated by a female warrior, shattering without coming in contact with the Spirit Sword. Immediately afterwards, the evil within Soul Edge was unleashed upon the entire world. Why did the evil seed occur? What havoc did it wreak? Not even I have any way of discerning. But one thing is certain. Ever since that day, what does it mean to be malfested? It's extremely hard to define. There are those who undergo monstrous transformations. In addition to humans, some animals have common traits of the malfested include heightened. Some become beasts, hungry only for slaughter. Sometime after the evil seed, the Azure Knight Nightmare appeared. Rumors said he possessed Soul Edge, and personally, I was also interested in discovering this knight's true identity. I then received news that the Aval organization had... It intrigued me that there seemed to be someone in there. While Soul Edge has appeared constantly through in time, I lost interest. But after resuming my search later, with it were taken a staff able to absorb all manner of energy. No one knows what had happened to the guardians of the spirits. As for the temple, but now the spirit sword is no longer. The evil seed deeply affected Ling Shengsi. Its martial arts students were soon overcome by madness and battle lust. Therefore, no one knows what happened to the spirit sword. While the survivor didn't possess SOULCALIBUR, there was clear. What powers did he possess? I only started writing this tome as a past. I was once one of the guardians of the precepts of the guardians were very strict. But in my younger days, when the others discovered my design, amid my despair, I searched for a way. After a long period of training, I mastered the secrets. I reincarnated myself over and over again. At first, I didn't realize the price I would have to pay for eternal life. For every time I reincarnated, I experienced the pain of death. It felt like my soul was being crushed. It is hard to put such pain and suffering in words. Indeed, I hadn't managed to completely escape death. No matter what one may accomplish in life, my bodies have lain in countless graves. So it was that I came to yearn for the final eternal death I could never have. Gradually, I began to seek out death itself. That was 1,000 years ago. My desire for death was at its peak. That longing for true death led me to even take hold of soul edge, wisdom, power, battle lust. But when it was over, I was forced to confront just how prideful I had been as a puppet of the cursed sword. And for what? I fought in an age of endless war that spanned the world. I've lived as every type of person. Old, young, man, woman. But I've never felt, however, not even the cursed sword could free me from the chains of samsara. And so I died, and was born again into this world.